Well, good morning, everybody. How you all doing? Whittler Dave here. Well, I was asked a couple questions the other day and everything. Let's set this crazy timer. I'm going to set it for like 30 minutes or something. You know, may go, try not to keep it 30, but you know me. But anyway, I was asked about glue lines, and another one of my followers asked me, how do I carve the mouse ears? So I'm going to kind of jump back and forth here. Okay, we just carved this pumpkin out, you know. It's carved. And then, you know, you got your glue lines and stuff. And I said I make a second texture. That's what I do. Like I told you, I grew up in a non-modern world. So you've got to learn to create yourself. So I'm going to show you what I do. And everything. You just need a couple wore out old brushes. Save your brushes that you wear out when you paint and stuff. What you're going to do is you just take you a little bit of water, not much. Elmer's glue. I buy a big bottle of it. Oh, Lordy, I got to get the lid off. Not as strong as I used to be. All right, get the lid off and everything. I hope everybody's going to have a blessed day today. I got to get set up for Burger King. Now, you just want to put some Elmer's glue in this. I shook it up. Just what you're doing is you're going to make you a cut down version of the glue. You know, you just want to thin it down just a little bit. Okay? The best ones to work for the napkins is like a McDonald's or the Burger King napkins, because they are a brown napkin and they have a heavier weight. But I don't have any right now. You want to take napkins and rip them up. You don't want straight edges. You want to tear it up. Tear that thing up. This is a process. You know, and then I make and design paint. That's the other thing. You've got to learn to paint in the cracks and the crevices. But you just want to tear that stuff up. Make you a bunch. You know, like I'm doing right here on my table saw. I've got it well protected and everything. Okay. You just want to put that glue. Can you see? Get that gluish water on there and get that baby doll down in there. Just let it go. And if it's a little too thin, add a little glue. Add a little glue. Get it really painted on there. You know, this is a second texture right here. This is a second texture. And then you just want to take that paper there and just start dabbing it in. Get it crooked. Don't get it straight. Just put it on there and stuff like that. You know, just get it on there. What this is going to do, this is building that second texture. It's getting down in those cracks that you carved, and you're making it just kind of really rough. And you see I'm just dabbing it on there. Here's a straight piece. You can use it right here where the teeth are. You know, you don't want straight lines. And you don't want to just put, you want to put it on at different angles and layer it and layer it. And this stuff here is going to dry and everything. And you're going to have to go over this a couple times. This just doesn't happen. You know, you got to let it dry. You know, I've used a heat gun, but just let it dry natural. You know, now see how that's wrinkling it up? It's getting it all wrinkly. Well, that's my second texture and everything. And then you just want to keep grabbing pieces. Okay, the sides. You see that side there's got 1, 2, 3. You know, it shows all these lines and stuff. That's no problem. You keep adding. You don't want to see no wood either. Keep adding glue. Keep adding your paper. And keep wrinkling it up. Dabbing it. See how I wore out brush. A wore out brush. That's what you want to use. You can put the straight right down here at the bottom. Don't put it up here because you'll have a straight line up here. Now, if you've got a bottom here, you can, but just keep tearing, keep tearing, keep tearing. Add the glue. Put that stuff. Roll it around your edges. Okay? Roll around them edges. You can see it's really starting to wrinkle. And that's what you want. You don't want this. This is your second texture. On top of the carving. And yes, it's not. It's going to take a little bit. You can't. Rome wasn't built in a day, folks. Come on. You know, let's get rid of that straight edge there. Let's put some more glue right here and get around these teeth and stuff like that. what this will do, this is just hiding everything, and it's going to create that I was going to show you one of them, but I done sold all my pumpkins that are already painted up. Let me just get that in there. Don't worry about it. You don't have to lay too far over on the bottom because that's where I sign it and everything. So, because this is all painted, get rid of that, get rid of that. See, look how I tore all that up. Get that baby doll in there. Get that right there. Yeah. Paint some more glue right here. Okay. Now you see, it's just creating that other texture, the texture I told you I did. And just, you know, the brown napkins is something about the weight. I like it much better. I've been doing this for years. Oops, stuck to my finger. And, you know, I just like the weight. And I know people that work for different restaurants. And I'm like, get me some brown napkins, and I'll get a bag of them. You know, I'll get a bag. But they do work much better. This is a paper towel. It is a lighter weight, you know. And you can, now, you know, you can just add the glue. Get that glue in there. And see how I wrinkled that up? I just folded it over. I just took and I grabbed that thing like this. And I just, it's right here, and I just took and I folded it over. I built up, and I just want that look. And you want to look at it, make sure all the pieces are laying down. You know, don't make sure they're not raised up and the glue ain't underneath of it. You just want to keep going back over it and just lay it down. Make sure you lay it down. But that is a second texture right there on top of the carving. That's going to give you the look like I do. And then the other thing, you know, even though I show you this, it's your painting. I tell people you can take a beautiful carving and spend months on it. And if you don't see how sometimes I'll just wrinkle it up. And you can spend months on it, and destroy it just because you don't understand how to paint it. You know, take a piece of wood, paint your skin, whatever. You know, understand the carving. You know, that's probably the hardest thing I can ever try to teach anybody is to paint. Because, you know, painting is just natural for me. You know, it just becomes very natural. I see colors, I see problems. I just fixed a problem this morning after I painted it last night. I didn't like the depth of the carving. I recarved it, and it's glued to the carving. And I remade the paint, and there it is. And I've already got it. It's going to be sprayed again here in just a little bit. You know, like I told you, no one's perfect. I'm going to tell you that over and over and over. You're going to get tired of me saying that, but no one's perfect. Now, see how I wrinkled that up? I just folded it, dabbed that baby doll in there, and trust me. And like I said, you want to make sure you get every piece of wood you want covered. If you're going to do this type of texture, make sure you cover it all. And then you're going to have to go back after it dries and stuff and everything. You're going to have to go back. You're going to have to do some touch-up. You know, your finger's going to get glue on it, and look, your stuff's going to stick to your hands. That's art. That's the beauty of art. Get off there. You know, like I said, I just tear. You know, when I did a lot of pumpkins, I had boxes of this stuff already tore up and just ripped, and I used to save all the pieces. Cause I used to do big pumpkin shows and stuff and Halloween shows, but we don't have them around here in Tennessee. All right, let's see that right there. See how the difference is here and here? Okay, let's paint some of that glue on there. I think we need a little bit more glue. We're starting to thin out too much. So, like I said, I buy a big jug of Elmer's glue, and there we go. When I did a lot of, I used to do paper mache, and I did all kinds of stuff. When I tell you a funny story about me is, when Star Wars come out, I'll never forget it. When Star Wars first come out, I wanted the Darth Vader helmet so bad. So, I made one. I made it out of paper mache. I made me a mold and everything, and I just made my own. I wanted the helmet. Well, you know, at that time, you know, they didn't have anything like that, you know, so I created my own. I mean, it wasn't 100%, but it's the idea. It's the idea of being a creator. You know, believing in yourself, believing in, you know, like I tell a lot of young artists, just believe in yourself. Don't be afraid to step out of the box, because one day somebody's going to appreciate and understand you. I already understand about every artist I meet out there. I get it. I understand them because artists are cut from the same cloth. I've always believed that. Now just keep looking. You see that? We are just starting to climb the ladder. And if you got a little piece of wood showed through when you get ready to paint this, you know, don't go nuts over it. It's going to be fine, but try to cover it 90%, you know. And maybe I'm just OCD, you know, I am OCD, and I'm just very, very picky about stuff like this. I mean, you know, there is another way you can do seam. You can actually paint it with glue and let it dry, and add, you can add a little bit of what we, you know, just a little, it's like making your own putty, but you can add a little bit of sawdust to it, and then lightly sand that out, and that will cover it, but I don't really do that much anymore. I just prefer to do the paper, because I like that wrinkled look. I like that look, like it's just, it makes it more scary and more gnarly and stuff like that. And you know, pumpkins are supposed to be fun. You know, I mean, they're you know, gotta have that look, or I think they do. Alrighty. And see how I'm just wadding up. You know, I'm just wadding up. And, you know, I'm gonna look for any kind of raised paper and anything like that. Make sure it's got that glue. Let's see how it's pocketed right there. Sometimes I'll take that brush and I'll poke a hole in there, and it'll make that paper lay down better. Yeah. That's why I said you don't have to be perfect about this, but it goes, you know, I've done them so much, it goes pretty fast, you know. And then you got all these little cracks and stuff that you want to blend collars in and dry brush and just blend, and, you know, it just looks, to me, it gives it that look. Look, I'm going to wrinkle that up some more. I just scooted that. You know, I'm going to, okay, let's see here. Let's just wrinkle this up some more. Yeah. And then we just take this piece here, and we're just going to push it in here, and this piece right here. And we're just making sure we get all this done. Let's get some more glue on it. And you can see I have a towel down. Because I'm telling you what, don't worry about the inside of them. You're going to paint them black, and a tea light candle is going to go in, or, you know, something like that. So don't worry about the runoff. I don't, you know, I don't worry about it at all. It don't run off that much. I don't ever sand the insides of them. They're just, that's crazy. I've been doing these, I designed these pumpkins years ago, my way. Now I'm sharing my love with everybody. I got it all over my hands, folks. I'm telling you, all over them. I'm hoping, you know, this guy asked me how do I hide the glue lines and stuff, and this is it, you know. And this is the way I do it, and I've done it for years, and it just hides everything. I think it looks pretty awesome, and see how I've carved all these out right here, all these lines, it just makes everything pop. Make sure you get back in there. You got to always be checking. You know, you got to be checking. See, you want to lay this over here and make sure this is laid over. Just flip it around. Just be checking. Don't worry about that crazy inside thing. And just like I said, get some more glue. Here's the eye. You know, here's the eye. This, like I said, you're going to need a towel down. I've done this on my kitchen table, and you know, just got to make sure you put something down. Let's grab another napkin. I got to get me some brown napkins again, because I sure do like them. Let's just wrinkle this up. I sure do like them better. They just it's the weight. It's the weight. So if you're around to McDonald's, grab you some napkins if you're going to do this. You know, It just, trust me, it does much better. And when the sun's out, throw this thing outside. Don't, just let it sit out in the sun. That's your natural, God-given microwave right there is the sun. That's it. Yeah, well. Now I gotta show that. I'm gonna show you how I carve this mouse, and in a minute. He was asking about the ears, so we're gonna do that. Let's get a little piece right here. See, just all kinds of layers. It's gonna come out in the wash. Trust me. It's going to come right out. Yeah. Like I told you, this is what I've done for a while. Alrighty, now look how gnarly that looks. We're just making sure they're going to use the back of the brush. Making sure all this stuff is laid down. There you go. When you paint these like this, you'll see it. I mean, you can get down in these cracks and crevices and all these little fissures and doodaddies that stick it up and everything. This is what gives you the look, 100%. This will give you the look, and you just have to create your own paint. You have to understand that, and you have to know how to lay it in. That's the trick. Laying it in where you need depth and where you need to put some dimension in, and stuff like that. You just got to learn that. I can't teach you that. I can show you till I'm blue in the face, but teaching people that is my nightmare. Sometimes I got to bite my tongue. It's like, nope. Alrighty. Don't worry about the runoff. Glue runs down it. It doesn't matter. I'm just looking for places right now, since she is wet, where I could just, add some more crumpled paper. I try to work an area. That's the trick. And so you're going to see me flop this thing around and look for open areas that have not been covered. See, I've got more water here, just in case I made it too thick. And if you do, add a tad of water. That's all you got to do. Don't fret over it. I've got more water set in here. See? More water. Just in case, I slop it in too thick and it's not wanting to spread. You want it to spread. That's the thing. That's the thing right there. Make sure she spreads and she crumbles and she gets that paper wet, but not too wet. Just, I'm trying to explain this to you. This here I am. See, that eye is just starting to roll around there. That's why I told you the other day when I was carving this, you don't have to really get crazy on the carving. Just because you're going to add this texture, you're going to add this love. I really contemplated, and I thought, well, if I'm going to show people and try to teach people what I do, I need to show you what I do. So I decided, let's show you this trick I do. Okay. Yes. Alrighty, I'm loving it. Now, see, you got to pick it up. Make sure you got an old work shirt on, which that's what I wear all the time. All right, you can see the texture. Let's bring this little thing up here. You can see the texture and everything versus this side and the texture. That's what I do, folks. That's how I make a texture. I've been doing this for years, and after this dries, and I look for, like, here's a little line I don't like. It's a straight line. Just take your brush and poke it over. I mean, it's me. I am OCD, so yes, I am picky about stuff. So if it doesn't bother you, well, okay. But it bothers me. I don't like straight lines on these. I want these things to look very old-fashioned. I look for places that haven't laid down good enough with wet glue. And there it is. That's how you create a texture to hide glue lines. That's my way. Like I said, you can use a regular glue and paint it on, add a little sawdust, and then you'll give it like a fuzzier look. and everything. Don't add too much. And you can, another 20 minutes or 30 minutes, this will be completely covered. But like I said, let's do something else. I had a gentleman, ask me about my mice. And yeah, I carve my mice most of the time with an X-Acto knife. It is sharp, and I don't have to chatter my blade around the ears and stuff. And you've seen me carve the mice, and actually you want to do the body, get that body ready and stuff like that. Let's get you a little closer, okay? So yeah, you just want to get that body right there. And he was asking about the ears. Well, you want to take your knife and draw around the bottom of the ear. See, I took that and draw right around the bottom. That starts your shoulder of your ear, and do the same thing right here. Okay? You just want to kind of taper it in. I'll show you where I use the X-Acto knife because it's just smarter. You're going against grain. I'm telling you folks, why dull a knife? I'm just not. I've sharpened too long. Okay, now, as you can see how I've done this, I've cut under, did this undercut, and it's no different. You just want to find the center good enough and draw down. Draw down. Right there. Okay? And you can, I'll use the X-Acto knife in a minute. See, it's just against that grain, and I can feel that knife. And you see, look, I'm just parting the ears. I'm doing like a V. Just a V. Just a V. That's all you got to do. Just a V. Just a V. Just dig that baby doll out. Down to the back, down, then take and cut it at an angle. Right there. Now, you can see the difference right there. He's cut at an angle. Cut this one at an angle. Alrighty. Cut this one at an angle. And then go back underneath and do an underneath cut. Just do this where you cut under the ear because you're wanting to raise that ear. I've always got mice on me. And your back is all rounded. I probably got 15 or 20 of these things I've already got in the bag for, because you never know. I may have a child. And if I don't have one done or whatever, I'll just set them down and show them my love. And same thing, you just want to cut this at an angle. Bring that thing out. Get that cut out. You're just parting the ears. It's a little rough here because it's going against grain. Don't worry about it. Get that thing cut down. Hear that going against the grain? That's why I don't use my knife. Used to carve these with a pocket knife when I was a kid. Alright. Now, you can see I just parted them. Simple ears. How I parted them and everything. Just very simple. Now you just want to round them up. Make them round. Right here. Lose that squareness. Right here. There you go. Yeah, I think it's getting ready to ring, folks. I think I'm going to be going over, but that's all right. But anyway, you just want to round that out and round that out. And then, like I told you, let me grab a piece. Get you a piece of sandpaper. Don't be afraid to do this. Just take and sand the backside of those ears and look at it. Yeah, just see how your taper is and see if you like it. That's all you got to do. Just look at it. Remember, it don't have to be perfect. Okay, now we're going to do an undercut right here in the front to raise them ears up. And we're going to taper the nose just a little bit. We're going to do this undercut right here. We want to make the ears, you know, more prominent. Yeah. Then we just come in here. We're just going to smooth that nose down. You can see where it's chattered a little bit. So we're just going to... There you go. Now, I do have a gouge. I've cut many of these with a knife. But if you have a small gouge or everything, that's all you need. You just take a gouge. I got a palm. And you just dig out that center. Just like that. Just like that. Yes. Yeah. Now see? You have just created an ear. Very simple. Very easy. You cut down through the center like a V. You part them. First you cut this line right here to get the shape of the ear where you're going to put it. And then you cut down in the center as a V. You part it here. You part it here at an angle. Same thing here and here. Scoop out the center. And you're done. Take your sandpaper and sand under that ear where it gets some more depth and stuff. And there you go. And then you finish up your little mouse. You know, you just cut them corners off. You've seen me do this many a times. My hands could carve a mouse blind. With my eyes closed, my hands know where to go. I can carve it blindfolded. Just by feel. I've carved thousands of these things. I'm always expecting when I go places in Tennessee, people will bring their kids and they'll, hey, there's Whittler Dave. You know, remember when you gave my little one a mouse or my grandkids? Well, I've got 2 more grandkids, and I got 2 more youngsters. And like, well, set them down here. I'll take care of them. I got to get ready to mail a mouse out to that lady in Virginia. She was unable, I think it's Virginia. Don't hold me to that. But she was unable to meet me. So I've got to get her mouse mailed to her. Because hers burned, I think it was a house fire she lost it in. And I've got to get that. She was unable to meet me the other day, so I got to get that mailed to her. But basically, you know, that's your mouse right there. And then all you got to do, let me grab another pencil. Let me grab another pencil here. You know, you just take your pencil ruler and just come up like that and draw your leg. That's all you got to do. Just take your pencil ruler and draw your leg. And follow that shape that you just drew. These are fun. I drill the back. I used to make wooden tails. Little curly wood tails. Well, the kids kept breaking the tails off, so nope. Drove me nuts. I was repairing more mice than, you know, they'd come back crying. So I'd make up another wooden tail. Nope, I don't do that anymore. I drill it, put a cloth tail in it, and done. Just follow your line. That's all you got to do. Don't worry about it. And that's all you got to do. And there, he's basically done. Just a simple, I showed how the ears, you want to do this undercut right here to start the ears of the profile, okay? And then you want to do the V straight down, V it at an angle, V it at an angle, cut that out. Make sure you cut your ears out. When you come in here, you want to cut this at an angle, this at an angle. Take this all out because there's your nose. And if you got a gouge, now, I mean, I can cut one with a knife. I can shape those ears with a knife because I didn't have a gouge when I was a kid. I taught my wife how to use a knife. I tell people, if you learn to use a knife and understand it, you know, fancy tools is a misconception to me because I learned to bend a knife. And that's what I tell people. Old school. But yeah, yes, that's how you do the ears. I hope this helps this gentleman that was asking me. You know, just that's how I do them and everything. Well, let's get you up here. Well, anywho, I hope that it helped you out on the pumpkin, how to hide the lines and everything. I thought about trying to get my wife out here, but she, you know, her shift has changed, so she needs more sleep. I don't hardly sleep at all, folks. But anywho, you know, and then the guy asked me about the little mouse and how to do his ears and stuff like that. Very simple. I showed you how to do that. But anywho, appreciate and love everyone that's been following the channel. Like I say, like, share. That deeply helps us out. Push that little notification button at the top. That's going to let you know when Whittler Dave posts a video. And I just want to say thank you all. I hope everybody has a blessed day. I know I am. You all have a great one. And Whittler Dave will talk to you later. And thank you.